With technology to play a key role in the new five-year plan as part of our series, China Plans the Way Forward, we'll take a look at what's been done to foster innovation and why homegrown technology matters to China's economy. And coming up later, after last week's knife attack in Nice, French President Emmanuel Macron raises the national security to emergency level. What's fueling the attacks and what can be done to stop them? Welcome to The Point, coming to you from Beijing. I'm Wang Guan, sitting in for Liu. Technological innovation and technological self-reliance are key to China's future development. That is a consensus from a recent meeting of China's top leaders in Beijing. The country is determined to, quote, make major breakthroughs in key areas and to become a global leader in innovation by 2035. But the road ahead may not be easy. The country remains vulnerable to tech sanctions and interruptions to its supply chain, especially of semiconductors. How can China overcome these obstacles as it works to build an innovation-oriented economy? What key breakthroughs are planned? Joining me for the discussion in Beijing is Zhang Fan, Associate Professor at Beijing Normal University, and via Skype, Wang HUIYAO, President of the Center for China and Globalization. Welcome, gentlemen. Professor Zhang, let me go to you first. China is to focus on high-quality growth and the expansion of its domestic market while making technological self-sufficiency a national strategy. Is this round of technological self-reliance a contingency plan in response to U.S.-China confrontation and COVID-induced disruption to trade and commerce, in your opinion?
Yes, both yes and no. So the more immediate concern is certainly the tech war, so-called. Because China is such a large manufacturing hub, that means any disruption to the supply chain because of the technological embargoes or any sort of crisis anywhere or natural disaster, it will create shockwaves that inevitably all converge onto China. So to ensure a sort of smooth running of the economy, you have to do that. But I don't think that's the only reason. So over the last few years, China's economy has been transitioning. So in the past, the problem with China is there is an extreme scarcity of everything. So the most important thing is to ramp up production scales so everybody gets one copy of basic essentials, things like fridge and stuff like that. But over the past few years, poverty alleviation has really worked. So now, basically, essentially, everybody has one copy of the things, and then having a second copy simply by increasing the scale of production does not really work for Chinese economy anymore. So you really need innovation to make replacement goods instead of just increasing the quantity of it. So I think that's another thing, yeah.
Right. According to long-term development plans, China aims to make major breakthroughs in core technologies in key areas and, like we said, become a global leader in innovation by 2035, that is some 15 years from now. So President Wang HUIYAO, what are the major breakthroughs that we can expect from China, and what has been done on the ground to make such breakthroughs possible?
Well, I think that there are many areas. I mean, in China we have, I think, first of all, I think the original innovation, the creation should be really beefed up. You know, also the science innovation should also really catch up as well. I think China has many application areas that China has done very well. You know, all the 5G, all the speed railway, and all the new automobiles and things like that. But of course, in order to come up to another height, you really have to get the innovation going. For example, area like artificial intelligence, area like telecommunication, and also also other areas like bioscience and pharmaceutical development, or even industrial on the innovation side. So there's more, in particular in the high tech area. I think also there's a lot of things needs to be done, and also semiconductor. Of course, that's a big area, and the chips and all those, I think that are really still China in the past didn't realize that it was really there's a possibility to decouple. I mean, China has prepared for that. So I think China has done a lot. China has already done a lot. So the 2035, which is the 15 years from now, China is really aiming another level. So I think it's really to get over this middle income trap. China is already reaching 10,000 per capita and already reached 100 trillion of RMB in terms of GDP now. But then when China gets to this middle level, they still needs to go higher level, so that it will have to be equally driven and technologically as a vital support. So that really comes very natural for this China. Emphasis more on technological innovation.
Right, technological innovation actually has been a key word in the communique issued by the meeting of China's top leaders. It was mentioned at least 15 times in the communique. According to UN's World Intellectual Property Organization, China actually ranked 14th among the top performing economies in 2020's Global Innovation Index. However, some observers say that innovation is constrained by China's top-down political system and its education that prioritizes memorization and taking exams. Professor Zhang, what are your thoughts?
I don't actually think those two things are directly applicable. Yeah, rote memorization is bad, but if you don't even need to do that, then things. Well, actually, in the Western education system, rote memorization is actually worse because the questions are too simple. You can't just remember the answers, which is not really possible in China. But whatever. I think the most important thing that's hamstring in Chinese scientific development is actually the way the scientific community is organized. It's organized more like a bureaucratic hierarchy in China, which means there's too much sociology, not enough science. Meaning people playing power politics, playing nepotism, playing favor trading, that sort of things. People with the wrong skill sets get into positions that make decisions instead of scientifically capable people. And that's devastating for science because science is quite different from other things in that it's not well mapped out. It's exploratory. Meaning you're basically walking in a dark forest. You have to have really great scientific insight to be able to pick the right way forward. So China really needs to work on how to get those kind of people into decision-making positions.
Right. I would assume that you would need a degree of tolerance for making mistakes and encouraging risk-taking as well. President Wang, what do you think? I mean, what are the major hindrances so far, challenges to innovation, and what more needs to be done?
Well, I think there's quite a bit to be done, actually, as a matter of fact. As China now already getting into the second largest economy, and China's hardware is almost ready, you name it. China has 2/3 of the global speed train in China, speed railway. Out of the 10 largest container, 7 of them are in China. But even though those high rises are all over China, but I think the talent is really missing or is not adequately enough. For example, China has very few global talents working in China. That's really a thing that China needs to catch up. And out of Nobel laureates, I mean, very few of them are working in China. And also the way that China education system needs to encourage more of innovation and also individual creation as well. But what's more, I think there should be more international collaboration among academics, universities, research institutes, and also we should have more foreign universities coming to China, and we should also have more technical industrial exchanges. Particularly, I think China now needs more global innovation and a more R&D center to be set up in China. So I think all those software, I think China still needs more of that, particularly the talent. For example, in Zhongguancun, the Silicon Valley of China, the global talent is less than 1% of the total talents in Zhongguancun. So we really need more of that, and that is really, I think, what we need. And also we need more welcome more foreign students, international students, high-level students come to China as well, scholars. Right. I think if we have that, and also global talents coming to China, we should really recruit talents all over the world coming to China. And that's really what China really needs to really go to the next level of the 2035.
Yeah, good advice. Educational exchange. Actually, Nobel Prize laureate in chemistry in 2006, Roger Kornberg, spoke to me a few days ago at the World Laureates Forum in Shanghai, and he really emphasized the importance of scientists from different countries being able to work together for the greater good of humanity. Let's take a listen.
It is true that at this time there are, unfortunately, tensions between governments, and those do affect us, and they have created problems for me personally, which I have refused to accept. I continue to perform research and work with my Chinese colleagues without regard to some of the problems that I have encountered in America. I will continue to do so.
You know, I think an associated question about technological cooperation is technology sanctions, you know, launched by the West against China. On top of the United States, Sweden recently has announced to ban Chinese tech communications companies Huawei and ZTE in its 5G networks. And some observers say that China is forced to be more self-reliant because of it. So, Professor Zhang, do you agree, first of all? And also, do you think China has enough capacity to hit back at those countries?
So yes, I do think actually China is forced to be more self-reliant. So I mean, whether China has the capability to actually win in the decoupling, I think China has a large enough market, and it has a diverse and sophisticated enough economy to might be able to just be able to pull off the decoupling. However, I think one thing that needs to be said is that China really needs to be careful about self-reliance, not to make it as if China is closing off to outside competition, to make a sort of cocoon that protects Chinese companies from competition. That would be the worst thing that could happen. That would be the surest way to ensure that those companies stop innovating and begin to misuse their market monopoly position. Self-reliance should really be considered as, be interpreted as having at least one decent Chinese competitor in any field, in any vital part of the supply. So it should really be an anti-monopoly exercise, anti-monopoly in terms of preventing companies that are vulnerable to becoming hostage of the U.S. from taking up monopoly positions in China, and also for Chinese companies to become monopolies. Only when you have fierce competition between really good players and also in the biggest market in the world can you actually stand any chance of withstanding this decoupling shockwave.
I'm afraid that's all the time we have. Thanks so much for this discussion, and to our guests, Professor Zhang Fan and President Wang HUIYAO. Thank you both so very much.